Hey, Geraldine. It is a great day.
Hello, hello. I barely made it on time. I
I
am
know,
so busy.
early. Hey, Charisse. All right, so we'll start in just a minute. I know people don't always log on early, so if there's any questions or comments, let me know. I can start with that. So, I know all of you guys are part of my free group. I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen. Hey, Ricky. This is my free group. Oh, does someone have a question? Okay, so this is the free group that I've grown for 3 years. I am in the process of getting rid of it because I'm moving towards a public community. There's two reasons for the public. If you've heard this before, I know some of my coaching members are on and have heard it. Just ignore me for a minute. Two reasons we're moving to public. One, uh, there's more flexibility. There is more flexibility with a public group. It can reach more agents. I truly believe that what we're teaching here, you're not going to find it anywhere else. So the first reason we're moving to a public group is because of that. The second reason is I've learned a lot with Facebook groups and stuff over the last 3 years, and I have brought someone on that's going to really help me get that group going. And eventually, we're going to be able to get referrals from that public group, and I will be able to give referrals to agents that are in my coaching community. So those are the two reasons. I would join the new group if you have not. I'm going to put it in the chat. Please do that. I am no longer collecting, hold on. I'm no longer collecting email addresses, but if you want to participate, I would love for you to answer the questions. Basically, I'm going to be doing a ton more videos and reels on, different things inside of short sales and stuff. So please join the public group. This group is going to be closed out here shortly, probably by the end of May. And we won't be sending emails out anymore. So I'm transitioning everything. Okay. So yeah, here is the link to the new free public group. So please join that. Please share it. All right, any questions before I get started with 4 steps to growing your business with short sales? All right, so I like to make these classes conversational, so please ask questions. All right, so here's a crazy thing. I decided to do this because, yeah, all of these 4 things are super important, but they were going through something very similar at my church a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, I could really like turn this into a short sale session. So I started like taking notes, and these are really the 4 steps, like the 4 foundations. The fourth one is really like when your business does start to grow. So we're gonna just go ahead and dive in. I'll pause after each step, and if you guys have any questions, you can post them in the chat or wait and ask them live, and I'll go ahead and go through those, okay? So the first one is to educate homeowners on the truth, okay? The foundation of lasting client relationships. So we're gonna go through some tips if you're taking notes. Look, there's a lot of agents that get into this business that have unrealistic expectations, and they think they're going to come in and they're going to just start making money tomorrow. Everyone that joins my coaching community, I say, this is long-term stuff. It ain't going to happen overnight. set it up, do exactly what Heather Keller does here, and you will have success, but it takes time. So if you're not willing to put in the time to build that foundation of lasting relationships, then real estate is probably not the niche you want to be in. But homeowners are getting bad information. I see it all the time. I'm seeing it every day. I'm getting calls every day. Okay. So it's our job as a specialist in our market areas to stand out. How do you do that? This first step is truly educating the homeowners. They may call you like right now, and it may be a no now, but it's not always going to be a no, because when someone's in foreclosure, it does take time, and they're in denial. Okay. So, number one, do not sell. Okay. Look, put your traditional real estate thinking cap off and put on your distress thinking cap. Just put yourself in their shoes. They are going through so much. Don't just say, hey, you got to sell, you got to sell, you got to sell it. No, please don't do that. They don't want to hear that. It doesn't help. This is about them. It is not about you. Okay. If you go about it that way, I promise you'll have success. So do not sell them on, hey, you just got to sell. Just got to sell. Talk to them about their situation. Okay. So for all of you that are in the coaching community, we do have that homeowner financial questionnaire. We use that in place of a script. So those are the types of questions that you should be asking them so you can lay that foundation, understand their situation, build that relationship, okay? So just please, for the love of everything, do not just say sell, sell, sell. Number two, you as the professional should understand the options available, okay? So what are those options? I'm just going to review a couple. Option one is a reinstatement. Okay. So just so you know, a refinance is never, ever, ever going to be an option. They have lates. It's just not happening. Okay. But a reinstatement is basically a homeowner comes to you and they're 12 months behind on their mortgage. So they would have to go to either their bank or the foreclosure attorneys and get a reinstatement amount, not a payoff, a reinstatement. That reinstatement is going to have all the payments they haven't paid. It's going to have the escrow balance that the bank was paying, their escrow, right? Foreclosure fees, attorney fees. So it's always going to be a lot more than what the homeowner anticipates, but it is called a reinstatement. I would say a majority of people cannot reinstate their loan because they wait too long. Okay. So it's usually not an option, but you as a professional should tell them about that. You explore these options with them, explain it to them in easy terms. They will love you. Okay. Another option, which is a popular one, is a loan modification. I'm not going to go over all of them because we have obviously 4 steps to get through. The loan mod seems to be going through a lot more now than it did pre-pandemic, but FHA is changing the way that loan mods are given come September. If you were not on my was it 2 weeks ago or last week? I don't remember anymore. But the mortgage meltdown, if you did not watch that, please go and watch that. Lots of changes coming with the FHA, okay? But a loan mod is an option, okay? The other option is a bankruptcy. A Chapter 13 will allow them to keep the property, but they do have to keep up with those payments. So right now inside the coaching community, since January, we've been going through all things bankruptcy. And there's no other, I truly believe, agents don't understand bankruptcy and short sales or selling. They just don't. It's complicated. I'm explaining it in super easy terms. So you, all of the ones in the coaching community, you guys are going to be experts in this field. There's no one else in your area that understands bankruptcy and foreclosure and all that. It's crazy. It's very complicated, a lot of moving parts. Okay. So yeah, those are just a couple of options, but you do want to understand those options because when they call, they're frazzled. Okay. They're scared. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. You would think that they would, but they don't. They do not know what's going on. And we don't want them to turn to the internet or to people that really don't do this on a day-to-day basis. They're going to get themselves in a pickle. Okay. Number 3, provide the homeowners with the resources. Okay. We have tons of resources available. And so what are those resources? I know there's questions. Just post them, please, in the chat. Oh, Geraldine last week. Yeah, if you have questions, just post them in the chat. So what resources should you be providing these homeowners? Well, we have a marketing piece called the flow chart, and the flow chart is exactly what it is. They get this piece in the mail. It's a front and back. The flow chart's on the front, and it will ask them at the top, do you want to keep your property? Then they go the yes route or the no route. During the yes route, it's, do you have income, like a steady job? Yes or no, and that would take them through. There are about, I think, 8 or 9 different options, whether they want to keep it or not. And those options are explained in very easy terms. They can either scan a QR code and read about the option, or they can scan a QR code and watch a video of you explaining the option, okay? That is such a valuable resource because essentially those are the only options that they have, okay? So that is something that we send out. It's very, very effective. The other pieces that we have is we do have a book, and you do not have to get these printed, but you could create a flip book, a QR code, and send it to them that way. But it's ideas to avoid foreclosure, like the flow chart, only it doesn't go into all the options. There's just a few in here, and it does give a little bit more details, okay? This was pre-flow chart. And then if they do have to do a short sale, this is a great resource of how the short sale works. Now, every bank's a little bit different. This is just a general overview, but I can guarantee you that there's no other agent in your market passing these out. So people always ask, well, are you just going to bring on a ton of people? No, Chicagoland's closed. I do keep an eye on that area, okay? Your areas. So we're not going to be adding a ton of people in certain areas. You know, it really just depends on the foreclosure numbers. Like, for example, who is it? Geraldine is in Texas, where there's like 4,000, I don't know, 3,000 auctions or something crazy. Like, she can't, there's no way that one person can handle all that, right? Okay, so just remember, and I put this on all the slides, ultimately our purpose as Blueprint community is to serving the homeowner's genuine needs, okay? Not simply just acquiring another transaction or the commission. If that's what you got in this industry for, go do like luxury property or something like that, because the niche of short sales, you can't do it that way, okay? All right, I'll pause for a second. Hey, Debbie, questions on number 1? Wonderful. Wow, yes. Okay. All right, let's go on to number 2. Turn your tough situations into your testimony, okay? So your challenges become your greatest selling point. People love vulnerability, right? So I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys for a minute. The reason why I have such a good relationship with my top bankruptcy attorney is because 13 years ago, I had to file bankruptcy. And I had to do a 13. My husband did a 7. There's a whole reasoning why we had to do that. I'm not going to go in that today. But I told him what I did, and he believed in me. And so we've been working together ever since. So when the time comes, I don't tell this to every client, but I tell them, hey, I've done the bankruptcy. This was my experience. Bankruptcy is not a bad thing. It is allowing you to start fresh. The foreclosure is not good. A lot of our community members have gone through a bankruptcy or a short sale or both. Some of them have even gone to foreclosure, and they're coming here with that story to be able to help other people. Okay. So if empathy and compassion aren't really your thing, then again, probably not the right niche, but you do want to have that empathy and compassion. Every single situation is different. I've never done one. In fact, I just got home from a listing appointment, and the lady is in a rehab facility. She's older, fell. And so I went there, got the listing, and then I have to, go finish everything at her house on Monday. So again, every situation is different. You'll see so many crazy ones when it comes to this niche, but it's really great for all of us in the community to bounce ideas back off each other. Okay. So again, your challenges, tell them about your story. Let them know that you're here to help. They hear it in your voice. They really just want someone to have them listen, right? That's the best thing that you could do is just listen to them. Listen to their story. Let them just talk to you, even if it's an hour. Just let them talk. Okay. There's no script. You shouldn't be using a script. Just use a homeowner financial questionnaire and you'll get through all the questions. Okay. But again, I don't know how many times homeowners are like, wow, Heather, like you're different. You're not like the rest. Like we can tell that you really care. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I talked to a homeowner the other day that called off of the flow chart, and he was like, yeah, I talked to an agent that I also got another letter from, and Debbie, you know who it would be, but I'm not going to tell you the name live. um and he's like, that person just kept telling me I need to sell, I need to sell, I need to sell. And I'm like, well, you might have to sell, but do you need to? I don't know. Let's walk through these options. And supposedly the bank's going to give him a loan mod. I followed up with him today. Follow up's key. But I'm going to keep in touch with him because a majority of these loan mod people, they just are getting them and they really can't keep the house. Okay. So again, I'm going to say it again. Ultimately, our purpose is serving the homeowner's genuine needs, not acquiring another transaction or commission. Do you make good money doing this? Yeah. All right, so let's pause on 2. Yeah, I know, Debbie, you're one of them, and I love it. It's just like if you're getting into this industry, and there's so many agents that just get in and they think it's so easy. They see the shows. Shows are not realistic, right? Real estate's hard work. You can't come in and start with no money. You have to spend money to make money, and you need to come up with a plan. You got to have good marketing. You got to put yourself out there. And I love that, Debbie, you can tell them your situation because it's just I think it's nice for those people in those situations to know that they're not alone and that, even though they probably know they're not in that moment, it's nice for them to probably hear another story. Oh, wow, Debbie went through it and she's okay. Right? Yes, that is his initials. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, for all of you that don't know, Debbie is in my coaching community and she's in my area. And so we do know a lot of the agents that say they're doing deals and they're not. Yay! Olga closed her first foreclosure deal. Woo! That's so awesome. From one of the marketing pieces, I'm guessing, or an attorney. That's so great. So cool. Make sure you post about it in the community so we can all congratulate you, okay? Expired foreclosed one. Okay, awesome. All right. This is a big one, okay? So don't quit when things get difficult. Persistence is what separates success from failure. Okay. One of the words I use all the time is consistency, right? Consistency is really, really key. I have people that they start to get impatient. You have to have patience with this industry, especially this niche. It's always up and down. One day you're going to have this high, and the next day you're going to have a low or whatever. But if you just remain consistent on what your marketing plan is, you will have that success. One week you may not get a call. Maybe you don't get a call for 2 months. But if you're keeping track of your marketing plan in the end, at the end of the year, you should be closing deals with the consistency. Number two, and implement a simple follow-up plan. Simple. Look, I told this the other day. I'm not even using a CRM. I use my Google Calendar. Like, I like to keep things as super simple. I think so many agents overcomplicate stuff. Don't overcomplicate, okay? You don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need to do this. You want to close deals and help families? Just come here, okay? I use Google Calendar. That's it. I keep track of everything, all my conversations. It's crazy. I think I've showed it before. I'm just going to show it one more time because I love my Google Calendar. It's like my third child. So I do color coordinate everything, you know, kids stuff, personal, business, whatever. So I have to call this lady. This lady called when we were live on our coaching call a couple days ago. And then I'm now taking Tuesdays and Wednesdays to making all my calls because I have a ton. All of these people, except two, are from the letters, the flow charts that we're sending out. Okay. So they're not ready right now. Okay. This guy, this lady filed a bankruptcy. Okay. All these people, they're a temporary no, but I know they're not going to be a forever no. Okay. This is the lady I met with today. I talked to her first, like a couple of weeks ago. She had to file a bankruptcy. She filed bankruptcy with my attorney, and the house will be live in 1 week. So, how do I keep, so like, for example, here's all of our bank call information. So we keep track of that. Now, every time you have to call someone, you put their information in here. What did you do? I don't do that anymore because I just my brain is so trained now after 18 years. I just know where everyone's at in the conversations I had. But I do recommend, oh, I sent a text or I did an email, I sent a handwritten note. Keep track of all that because you do want to reach out. I try to reach out every week. Some of them, you know, depending, it could be a little bit longer. So if you have questions about that, hey, how often should I be following up with this person because they just filed a bankruptcy or they went in an auction or they have an auction? Ask me. So yes, consistency. Our auction letters get sent out every single week. And I've been doing that same system for over 13 years. I think it's been 14 because my oldest is 14. And I started like, I think right before he was born. 13 or 14 years every single week. Now that's consistency. And I've always analyzed everything at the end of the year. And it's always been my number 2 lead source. Okay. You don't have to be doing a million different lead sources in real estate. Okay. Pick what's going to work. Direct mail marketing is very much alive. You just have to consistently send out the letters. If you have a budget per month for letters to go out, then just meet that budget. You're still going to get calls. I think we're sending around 2 to 230 letters a week. You know, stamps are 73 cents. I buy the letters in bulk. You could technically print them at your house if you wanted. It's really not that expensive, but you do have to spend some money to make money. But what we're doing in here, it's not a lot. So yeah, I say this because I read an article that someone was like, the averages or the percentages of, you know, unrealistic expectations for agents that come in and the fact that they think they don't need any money, but you do. You have to, my biggest advice, if it's not short sales, pick a niche that you love and become an expert or a specialist in that niche, but know that you're going to have to spend money. You have to spend money to make money. And you're just going to continue to say, oh yeah, I don't got no money. Then you have to start somewhere, right? I had no money when I started. Absolutely none. We had to take a train to Michigan just so my mom would buy us groceries. Long time ago. Okay. We don't have that problem now, but we believed in ourselves. We believed in the people that were around us. So just remember that. And again, ultimately, our purpose is serving the homeowners your genuine needs, not simply acquiring another transaction or commission. All right. The fourth one I think everyone will like, especially in the coaching community, is okay, I'm starting to get calls from my letters and I need help, right? So, our job as, or at least, so let me explain my team and what I delegate out and stuff. Okay. So, I'm the face of everything. Debbie's the face of her team, small team. And it's me. Heather should be out there generating more business, allowing homeowners to put a face with a name, all of that. Okay. We can't be spending hours in the office doing paperwork or sending out letters, right? So once you get to a point, and you'll know, now there's a difference between not prepping yourself like for your week and being overwhelmed because you're being pulled in all these different directions. If you're trying to do 5 different niches, that's not a time to delegate out. That is a time to figure out how you can not take on so many niches and just focus on one. More is not always better. Okay. So you do want to scale your business, and the way to do that is through effective delegation. Once I realized that I could delegate and sometimes automate stuff out, it would like open up a world of opportunities for me. Like I could do so much more. I can go and sit with Stuart at a 2-hour lunch and chat instead of worrying about, stuff that needs to be done at the office. Okay. Um, Okay, so why is delegation crucial to your growth as a business owner? I've already really just touched on that. If you do want to grow, and I'm not saying you have to have like a giant real estate team. I don't need a giant one. It's me. I have like a buyer's agent and a runner. She'll go to properties, take pictures, lockbox, that sort of thing. I have someone else that would come with me to listing appointments if like I'm feeling uncomfortable, which is probably good to have when you're in this niche because you never know. And then I have my transaction coordinator and I have a design coordinator. So both of those two people are virtual. And so it's just a small team. I still take on all the listings, but I don't do everything for them. Um, so if you want to grow as a real estate agent and a business owner, you do have to learn to take time to delegate those tasks. Okay. So what task should you delegate? Um, this is what I'm delegating out to my transaction coordinator. Okay. So let's give an example of this listing today. I went and so before when I get a listing, I put everything in my Google Calendar and then I open up a loop in Dotloop. Okay. We briefly went over Dotloop on Tuesday. If you are not using Dotloop, get it. It's 29 bucks a month. It's like the best thing ever. Short sales are very task driven. I've already prepared a whole entire task list. You can have access to that if you'd like. And it's just really great to stay on track. So I start to assign tasks to Bonnie. Bonnie's my transaction coordinator, and she knows once she gets assigned the new, is we call it the NLA. It's called new listing appointment. She'll then prepare all of the documents. So fill out all of the listing agreement that she can fill out right now, and then she'll email it to me. I print it, I prepare it, I highlight everything, and I put it in a file. Okay. I take it with to my appointment, go through everything. Then I scan it, send it to her, and she does everything else. Okay. So she separates them. She makes sure I got everything. She sends them into the office because there is a law to get those into the office by a certain time. You want to make sure that's a part of being a business owner. You got to follow all of those rules and deadlines. So she knows that those have to be at the office in a certain amount of time. Um, so she does that. She will then prepare. So she'll actually go in and not list. She doesn't list the property right away. She does the draft. I review it still. She'll list the property. She posts everything on social media for me. And then she will send all the executed paperwork to the seller because that's also a requirement. So I'm very hands off with all of the paperwork. In fact, she's been with me since 2016. I don't know if I could do it all now. I just don't think I could. And then she's the one that calls the banks for me. That's another task. So we technically try to call the banks every Tuesday and Fridays. That's our day to call the banks. She will call, she will get updates. I review the updates, and then she will send out an email to all parties with just an update. So everyone's happy, right? If we get an offer, she preps everything in DocuSign. She makes sure the buyer's agent is getting us earnest money. She'll make sure the buyer's agent has initialed everything, which never once, I don't think, a buyer's agent has ever sent anything in. So we do provide instructions on the MLS. She's done that. What else does she do? She will submit the packet to the bank. So she preps it all for me. I still like to review the application. And, she puts everything in order. We have a certain order listing, all the short sale package. She'll prepare it. She'll send it in, either fax or email, depending on the bank, right? And again, she calls the banks every week, every Tuesday, Friday for me. And then when we go to closing, she doesn't do as much for closing per se, but she will send out like requests for like a survey or testimonial. She'll close everything out. She'll let the office know the check is coming. She prepares all the closing paperwork. So that's commission, our disbursement forms, all of that. So anything that is related to calling the banks or any paperwork or emails, she handles it all. And it does keep her busy because it is a lot. So imagine just sitting here, like you guys take all of that off of your plate, how much more stuff that you could be doing and growing your business. I need to learn this method. I tried to write everything down, but it's not really working for me. Geraldine, I think if you search in the coaching community, I feel like the task list is in there. Some of the stuff you don't have to, like if you want to do, I know we already talked about this and you're going to do the marketing, the auction. But I think it's in here. Yeah. So if you search short sale task list in the coaching community, you'll be able to download it here. Just highlight this, copy paste. Yeah, it is it takes time. Everything takes time. It took probably a good year for Bonnie to really, catch on. But that was time well invested on my end to help her because I knew we would get to a point where it's like every single Wednesday, she pulls all of our auction data and she looks it up on the MLS. She prepares the letter. She handwrites the envelope. She sends it out. She does all of that. I have been all hands off. I don't do any of it anymore. The only thing I do is make the calls, the follow-ups, go to the listing appointments. Yes, I am on track to meet my goal this year. I keep track of my stuff. And Sharice, I know you're newer to the coaching community. In the fall, we always do a series called Game Planning. And so I help you all analyze your current year and then how do you get set up for your upcoming year. So on the first of each month is when I go in and analyze all of my deals. Okay, so June 1st is coming up. I've had 3 closings in May and I'm done for May. So technically I could do all of it now, but I do go back, I analyze the sold price, the commission, what I'm paying in IRS taxes, state taxes. I lay all that out. And then I also mark down like, where did the lead come from? Because at the end of the year, when I have all of that, I can go back and see where are my lead sources, my top ones coming from. Year after year, it's consistently been bankruptcy and auction. Okay. So Geraldine, Bonnie is actually my mom. Not a lot of people know that. So what we did with her is she was bored and needed, something to do. So she lives in Michigan. She works remotely. So just so you guys know, all of this could be done absolutely remotely. Okay. I don't need an office. I don't go to my office. I think I've been there once. This is my home office. I work here. I love it. And she works in Michigan. So she's been working for me since 2016, but I think about 5 years prior to that, I said, hey, I need someone to do my auction letters. And so she learned how to look up the data, how to check them on the MLS, how to prepare the letters and send them out. So she started with that. And she was like, hey, just pay me when you close a deal. So if you can find someone, family member, college student, maybe a high school student, someone, you could either pay them per envelope. It doesn't have to be a ton, but you could bonus them when you close a deal. I didn't have a ton of money back then, so every time I closed a deal, I would just give her like, $200-300, whatever I could. And that, in the end, she was probably making more that way than she would per envelope. Okay. Then I started to get super busy where I was like, I can't do this anymore. You've done such a great job with the letters. I would like for you to come back. I would like for you to quit your job and work for me full time. And these are the tasks that you would be doing. And she's very good at follow up because we have not only that task list, Geraldine, but we also have templates for every part of the process. So she just uses those templates for emails. A template for selling, or a template for sending the documents to the seller, a template when we get an offer, what the template we use is sent to the buyer's agent after it's fully executed. How do we order title or ask title from either the attorney or the title company? We have a template for that. We have a template for sending the packet. We have a template for everything. Okay. So it really just makes your guys' life a lot easier. Okay. Yeah, so it is a blessing. Some point you're going to get to this part. Okay, you will. But this is what I tell everyone in the coaching community. And this is number 3. How do I properly delegate? The best way to properly delegate is to learn everything on your own first. You need to be doing the letters and getting the system down to a T. Consistency. Week after week after week after week. Why is that so important? Because you're going to learn your ways, your Jedi ways. Okay. Then you want to make sure you write all of that down, keep track of it, and then you can properly delegate that out because you're going to be right there with them, and you can either make videos for them how to do it. Bonnie, personally, she likes everything step by step. So we did that. You have to take the time to properly train someone. And the only way to do that the right way is for you to know how to do everything up front. So is it going to take a little bit more time? Is it going to be frustrating at times? Yes. But remember, this is long-term stuff. Just imagine all of those families you'll be able to help. But you have to do the stuff for yourself first, learn it, be consistent, start to get calls, start to get deals, start to close deals, start to help families, then delegate that task out. But don't be rude, be nice, teach them how to do it the proper way, exactly how you've been doing it. And it's going to make things a lot easier. Okay. And of course, I'm going to say it one more time. Ultimately, our purpose is serving the homeowner's genuine needs, not just acquiring another transaction or commission. Okay. All right. Questions on that? So everyone thinks, yeah, you just can come in and learn some short sales. Nope, we'll teach you everything, how to run a business. I mean, I'm definitely not, I'm still learning. Like I think Sharon's on this call. Man, she taught me some stuff at our training a few weeks ago, and I just love her for that. I love when someone teaches me something new because it doesn't happen that often. But even though I have a business degree, I went to school and I just feel like I've learned more the last 18 years running my own business than I ever did. And I want agents to be successful. I don't want you to be running around with your, what do they say, with your head cut off, chicken, whatever. No, let's hone it in and figure it out, get organized, consistent, and it's just gonna be a lot easier. Okay, so I have a question. What's the best place to get distressed properties? That is going to be Property Radar. Property Radar is not a requirement inside of our coaching community, but let me tell you, you want to find distressed properties, you want to be able to analyze those properties. And if you're a part of the coaching community, I can also analyze properties in your area, which is great. So I would 100% recommend Property Radar. Again, it's a cost, 119 bucks a month, but it is going to make things a lot easier for you. What do I mean by that? Well, we do teach you how to set up the auction date lists. We teach you how to pull the data. We teach you how to analyze the data. You can find bankruptcy data there and pre-foreclosure data. So it's literally the best way to get leads. All right, if you work with partner, do you have to put both of them names? Yes. So the authorization to release information should have, so I have my company, Charles Rutenberg Realty, I have Heather Keller, me, and then I have Bonnie on there. So the reason why is because she's not going to call in and act as me. No. She's going to call and say, hey, I'm Bonnie. She's authorized then too. Now, there are some instances where I do have to step in and call the bank because she may be confused even after all these years, and I'll do that. But you do want to make sure everyone that's going to be helping with the transaction is on the authorization. Good questions. Other questions? So if there is, let's chat about it, but I just want to tell you quickly about the coaching community. It's 20 bucks a month to join. That is this group right here. Oh, excuse me, allergies are so bad. You would have access to this group. So why the heck would you pay 20 bucks a month? Well, this group is the place you go to get support. It's the place you go to collaborate. Your managing broker probably doesn't know how to answer your short sale questions. They'll probably tell you not to take them on. Okay. You want to come here to get your questions answered. Okay. Lots and lots of stuff going on. We have good days, we have bad days. Come to us with everything. Okay. 2 days ago, I was like, yeah, I'm having a great day. I've been consistent. I got 2 calls from the flow charts alone. Okay. Lana had a question. She had a closing. I think it's today. Yep. And it was FHA. So FHA is very strict with with what they're paying. So we went through and answered all that. This is where you're going to go to get your questions answered. Okay. Clara, please send me a message afterwards. We have trainings every single Tuesday. Okay. That right now is about bankruptcy. All the recordings are here. We have about 3 years worth of recordings. So there's lots and lots of trainings you can take. Here's the thing. I don't want you to come in and just watch all the trainings. I want you to come in and do it. So you will have to get a course. There's 5 different courses available and it's 20% off per course when you're a member. Okay. We'll go over the courses in a minute. But yep, 20 bucks a month. If you don't like us, you can leave. There's no commitments. But yeah, everything is very easy. It's very well communicated. We send out emails every single week, announcements, replays, reminders of trainings. Okay. Bankruptcy training will go till the end of June, and then we will take a couple weeks off, and then we'll do something else after that. The courses available are these. So I do not recommend you get all 5, which you're probably like, why would you say that, Heather? Well, I know agents tend to get overwhelmed, and this can be overwhelming. I would get 1 or 2. I would always recommend the auction date. That is my number 2 lead source. Anyone here that's using the flow charts, they'll tell you how great they are. It is really helping the homeowners in denial. Okay. That is what's getting my phone to ring. Within the flow chart, I also give the auction date lead letter. Bankruptcy is what we're going through right now on Tuesdays. So you can get a glimpse of that if you join. Well, bankruptcy has always been my number 1. Okay. The other ones are really great too. The books that I talked about earlier are going to be in the top 2 books every distressed homeowner needs. Everything is editable in Canva. or Word, depending on what the marketing piece is. And the courses are all 20% off. Okay, so for example, if you want to get the auction date one, which you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's 97. Yes, just get it. It's 20% off. You get a postcard, you get 2 letters, you get the flow chart, everything you need that, like, I tell you exactly how I send it out. So there's cheap envelopes on Amazon we're using. I just bought some super cheap. I think I'll tell you what they are. And then there's stamps. That's it. Don't mind all my Amazon orders. I love Amazon. This is what I ordered, okay? So 500 are 38 bucks. So cheap, okay? You don't have to have super dope, nice envelopes. I'm getting calls. So that's what we're currently using. In fact, I just ordered them because my mom's coming to visit next week because my oldest is graduating 8th grade and the boxes are ready for her to go. Otherwise, I would usually just ship them to her house, but she's going to be here. All right, let's see. Any other questions? Debbie, I love Debbie. I'm very generous with my time. The reason why is because I really just want to help homeowners, and I can't help homeowners unless I start with you guys. That's the bottom line. Starts with you, right? And our mission is to help 10,000 homeowners, and we're at, I think, close to 2,800. So you'd be a part of that mission as well. All right, I'm going to pause and just see if there's any questions. Please remember that we are switching to that free public group. The reason why we're switching to a free public group is because, one, it gives us more flexibility in our reach to agents, but most importantly, we're going to be able to eventually provide referrals to our coaching members because of it being public versus private. There's more things that we can do regarding marketing and that sort of thing. So referrals are really great, and that's something that I've been looking to move towards for a long time. So don't forget to join that group. And let me get the link for... I would encourage you to just join, check us out. You'll get a welcome email, and then you'll get tagged in this, oh, hold on. You'll get tagged in this welcome post. Please take the time to go through the post, okay? And then you can sign up for our next new member orientation, which is a really great way to learn what the group's about, how to navigate, but I would start here, okay? Most importantly, our weekly announcements has everything that's upcoming. So you want to make sure you put it in your calendar. All right, so I can answer any other questions. Bye, Cherise. Have a great one. All right, does anyone have any questions? Okay, so I'll hang out for a couple minutes. Otherwise, gosh, when's our next training? I don't think I have one planned yet. End of school year, I'll probably try to do maybe one on the 29th, but just be on the lookout. Again, make sure you join the free group because that's a lot where it will be posted.
Heather, I have a question about a property that I'd like you to look up on Property Radar, and we can do that offline if you don't want to do it here.
Oh, I can do it now.
Okay, 201 White Oak. This was the one I told you about I could walk to, and she listed it with somebody else. And I just want and it canceled. So I just want your input. There's an auction date scheduled for May 20th. But I'd like for you to look at it because I don't understand what bank it is or anything. So
Okay, what's the address, Debbie?
201 White Oak Street in Arlington Heights. And don't anybody else take it.
If they do, I'll go hunt them down. Like, that is not what our community is about. Holy
No,
crap.
I'm just
Debbie and I are in the same area, and I'm not going to go hunt it down. Like, Rude.
I'm not worried about you. This is around the block from me. You're not gonna come all the way over here.
I mean, I would if it was attorney referral. Okay. So you said the listing was canceled?
Just canceled. Yep. But as I look at it, I'm unclear. I mean, I know the auction date is the 20th.
Did you call her?
No, well, I'm looking for some magic words from you.
Okay. But you do have her phone number, right?
I do have her phone number. It's in there.
Okay.
I was gonna chicken out and text her first.
Debbie, I
No,
can drive. I can't drive to the rest of these people, but I can drive there to your house and don't do
No,
that.
I just, I mean, I was gonna text her first and say I'd like to give you a call and just chat with you about your situation. And just so she knows who I am when I call, that's all.
Yeah, you could do that.
See, it's weird.
It looks like they have it in a trust, maybe.
It looks like she's only got a loan of about 75,000 on a $800,000 property or $600,000 property, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, just from looking at this, I bet she does have equity. So what the
Yeah.
heck is she doing?
I agree. That's my point.
You said this is right around the corner from you. I would definitely send her just a quick text. Hey, if it were me, I would say, hey, I saw your listing get canceled and I'm aware that your auction is May 20th. I'm going to call you today at 2:30 and there's one other option that I can walk you through. And
And
that's,
that's bankruptcy, right?
but she's not gonna be able to do a 7 with that much equity. So like the lady that I met with today, she has not this equity, but maybe 75,000, possibly 100. We'll see. Probably 75. And she has an auction that was supposed to be today. And she filed a 13 yesterday. And the only reason why she's filing the 13 is she's not going to go through with the 5-year plan. It's temporarily stopping that date. You know this, so that she can come in
Right.
and sell.
Right, but if she doesn't have income, can she still do a 13?
I'm sure she has some income, right? Social Security, maybe.
Could be. Yeah, she's older.
So I would ask that. I mean, you can always text or call me later. I'll be around.
No, she's in her 50s because I stalked her on Facebook.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, right here it says she's 87.
No, she's not 87. Well, maybe she is. Who knows? All right, I will.
I would do that because you could. I mean, the 20th, that still gives her time. Not a lot of time, but it still gives her time. So
Yeah. Okay, and then since I haven't yet found a bankruptcy attorney I may need to borrow one of yours for this one.
sure.
Anyway, all right, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry to take over your class. Great class again. I always appreciate and always learn from you. And thank you.
You're welcome. All righty.
Yep.
Yep.
Debbie, it looks like this situation might be a probate or a death, and you've got a successor trustee. Yeah, the lady that's 80 is probably the person that died, and the person that's 50 is probably the successor trustee. And so I think you've got a trust situation in kind of a probate or.
All I know is that's a boatload of money to give to the bank on an auction sale.
Well, of course, yeah, but that's what's happened. The person, the original owner, or probably the husband passed, the wife is the last remaining owner of the property, and
Right.
she's just passed, and And now there's a successor trustee and they're dealing, you've got someone who's dealing with this that's not familiar with either short sales, trusts, or probates or anything like that. So that's probably why it got canceled.
That's the frustrating thing is that, do you know who, I'm sure you know who the agent was.
Yeah, I do.
That's the frustrating thing. That agent had no business, and she
Right.
probably just said, "Oh, I do a lot of deals in this area." Well, okay, great. You do a
No,
lot
it
of
was a
deals.
he.
Oh, he did.
It wasn't the
Um,
one we talked about earlier. But you know what? For all the people who are listening on here, this is a perfect example and it wasn't scripted. But here I am, having done close to 300 short sales, and I'm asking Heather for advice. And then I've got my buddy in California who's also providing me for advice. And then, of course, we've got people in Las Vegas and all over the place. You know, where can you get that kind of education for $20 a month, people? Come on.
you
Anyway,
can't.
Heather's not paying me to say that. I just think it's a great group and I love the collaboration with everybody. Thanks, Rich, for your advice too. I'm texting right now. See, here's my phone.
Okay, let me know how it goes.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions, or anyone that's not a member of the coaching community? I can help you get going if you would like. Just I'll wait for a few more minutes if anyone else wants to. Otherwise, be on the lookout for more trainings in the future. Bye, Debbie. Good luck. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, your name looks familiar. So let me give you my email in case there's any questions, or you can message me on Facebook. But excited to have you join us. Geraldine, have a great day. Bye, ladies.